So hey everyone, where is this clicker that you speak of? Oh, thank you. So I'll just jump in. I'm Jeneth, and when I was 39, I wish I was 31, and if I could use the clicker. Oh wait, this is a pointer. I think this is a pointer. Point it towards, no? Do I have? Oh, thank you. My company grossed 1.2 for that year, and pretty much it changed everything. And you guys would think that that would change it and skyrocket, and many of you might be thinking, which I think I skipped a slide. So you might be thinking, well, shoot, how did you do this? So instead of telling you how, I'm going to tell you what my life is like now, because it's all about play and creation and flow and only doing the things that I love and not doing any of the things that I don't like, not getting behind the technology or, the things that totally made me just want to pull out my hair. And what I found in this journey of being an entrepreneur is basically, here's a cycle for most of us that are creative. And if you're an entrepreneur, I think, you know what? You are creative, right? So basically, we have passion. We create it with all this force and fight, and we make it happen. And then we get bored with that implementation, and we quit that project, whether it's done or not, or made money or not, and then ultimately, we start again. So I'm here to say, don't quit. So after I made $1 million, I quit. And I hope that you learned from this lesson and this story. I'm going to share my story with you real easy and soon. Here we go. Let's see. Oh, wait, I'm going the wrong way. Oh, here's the story. So this should say 2007. So 10 years ago, I had, boom, a passion. And in 90 days, I was a hustler and still sort of am. I wrote a book. And we got it out, and we got it self-published. And I made it a bestseller online through a ton of JV partners. And I just called everyone I knew and made it happen. With that book, I met this man named Bob Doyle, who was one of the people in The Secret. And Bob and I actually became really good friends, and we did all these little things together. I know these pictures are horrible, but I wanted to share my journey with Bob because he was really the one, and at the time, he was focused on really living beyond wealth. Like, the money doesn't matter, just follow the joy, just follow the love. And although that's a nice message and everything, I wasn't actually being that. So after I met Bob, I met another man. My husband must love this because I just keep meeting men. I met this man with another who had a passion that drove me deeper into this work, and his name was Dr. Dane here. He's the founder of Access Consciousness and taught me these tools to really get into my being instead of figuring everything out from this force, this fight, this frustration that I was creating my business. Like, you can make $1 million, but if you're doing it with force, fight, and frustration, it really, isn't worth it. So I'm here to invite you to a new way to create wealth through being. So here's the money. That's when I basically, boom, hit 7 figures and crashed. We did that October 7th of 2011. And after that, I had rebellious years where I spent some time, played. We bought a beach house. I started living. I'm now doing events at these beach houses. But I may wander, but I'm not lost. And I knew that I wasn't quitting my business, but I knew I was just quitting the frustration, the fight, and I was determined to learn how to make this money in flow. And so beach pictures. So then I decided, hey, I think I'll write a novel and see how I can do it that. So I wrote this book called Falling In Stilettos, and I had, journaling and writing, and it was just total this wander of my life. I do this weird body work. I was telling him in the room, I said, I do this like sighing. And so we bring in this body work these days, and that was really what started me to really get back into my own body, my own being, so that I no longer had to create from this force and this fight. I'll tell you a little bit more about that in just a minute. And finally, I started studying productivity and flow states. These days, I study flow mostly through the body, through doing activities that amplify the dopamine in our brain. It could include roller coaster rides, fast cars, anything that you get excited or thrilled about, an activity that you don't do, that you are, a little bit afraid to do, but really, truly, that's excitement. It's those kind of things that really amp us up as entrepreneurs, and then we use that fuel and that flow to really change and create greater products. I mean, it's like grabbing the rocket fuel and putting that on every one of your projects. So Steven Covey says, flow is the optimum state of consciousness when you feel and perform your best. Who here would like to feel and perform their best? Who here would love to feel that fun, that joy, that flow? And who here is ready for something greater in this area and more? Yay! So that's the basic gist of the story. I want to tell you one of the things that has helped me with this. A lot of people think to grow and to make these changes from this force, this fight, and what I call figuring out, they really think that you have to go back to being slower and slow down. And I think it's just the opposite. To get back in your flow, you need to speed up. You need to do whatever it takes. You need to find the courage when the courage isn't there. You need to borrow courage from other people. And when you do these things, you automatically create more flow, and your brain ignites and activates in that same way. Here's now where we are at. So this is us celebrating my newest thing called Whispering Maps and what I call the Playbook. And really what I do with businesses and entrepreneurs is I look at their business and I look at kind of what is it that is light and expansive and spacious for the highest level entrepreneur. And then I look at the activities that they do, D-O, that they're creating do on themselves, that isn't offering that joyous, expansive creation. And we look at ways and we ask questions specifically about what it takes for them to get back into their joy, their passion, I'm ready to have it again. And whenever you hit burnout, which you'll do if you do that cycle at the very beginning, you're going to keep hitting burnout and burnout and burnout. And so my work now focuses on really two areas: getting those systems in play so that you're only doing the things you love. Now, if you can't right now, then we'll make a transition plan where we craft the money, and then when delegation can come in, then delegation comes in. It's not just like, let's take the ripcord and delegate everything. It's really a transition plan. Because every level of entrepreneur has a comfort zone. Have you noticed, right? All of a sudden you feel like, okay, I'm good doing this, I'm good doing my daily work, and then I'd like more. And you don't necessarily know what more. You just know, I want more. And when you hit that more space, you suddenly go, okay, what is this? And that's one of the best questions to ask. And then you'll usually find that you're not actually crafting and courageously going for more because you're hitting a little bit of that comfort zone. So I want to offer you just a couple of tools today so that you can get out of your comfort zone and get more into your life and into your being and whatever you want to create in your businesses. So I want to ask you a question. Now, this isn't going to be a question that you answer. I want you to just be with the question and just kind of feel the energy of this, so to speak. So think about that next thing that might be vague, but you know it's time. You know it's time. So what is it that you know about that you're denying or refusing to know? And if you didn't deny or refuse that, then it would come to you with greater ease and joy. And anything that doesn't allow that to show up in your world, would you be willing to uncreate the energies, the space around that? And in my work, then we have this like weird-ass clearing statement that I won't do here. But I want to introduce you to, like, there's question in so many ways. You know, there's the question of the inner knower. There's the question of, when am I not being my greatness? When am I coming into the space of judgment or unclarity? When am I doubting myself? In my work, one of the things we use doubt, whenever we doubt or do guilt and a few others, it's always about really, truly you distracting yourself from your greatness. So what is it that you doubt in your life about yourself? And if you didn't doubt it, it would totally expand your world. Okay. I use the word whispers because when I used to kind of think, oh, I'm getting an idea in my work. But I started to use the word whispers as awareness. So I invite you to, what is the awareness that you can get and receive with this? So now, what do? So I'm a social influence entrepreneur. I write a blog. I play in different places. This was Rome last month. I share those experiences. I share the things that I'm doing, that I'm using. I use affiliate marketing in everything that I do. I use JV marketing to do an interview series. And most of my flow and most of my wealth now comes through others. So I wanted to open it up at the end of this. This is usually the part of my slide presentations when I actually teach you everything, but I was supposed to give my origin story here. So I want to tell you I'm not Wonder Woman, but have you seen us in the room together? That's my daughter. She's now 11, but I thought that was such a cute picture for that. So my question to you is, do you really know what you want now? And that by now I mean not after this conversation. I really mean, do you really know what you're here to create? Do you really know what's next for you? And I'd like to open it up for any questions. I am talking about the Playbook, specifically how it works, how company systems work within business. And they are nice enough to let me give you a link for that. Really, my message is be you, have fun, create a legacy, and try not to do so much hard work. Normally, this is where I would teach something, but here is, if you want to do a webinar with me, if you want to learn more about this, it's all free, at least initially, unless you decide to do more than that. So I wanted to, open it up for questions and see, how can we create more? Does anybody have questions about affiliates or JVs do y'all partner with people? Who partners? Yeah, one of the things that I learned early on is, I can advertise a lot and I can sell some things, but until I started to really engage and work with others, there was no way. There was no way I was going to grow my business. And I think that, events like this allow us to not just get educated, but it also lets us connect with other amazing beings. And how many of those connections can you have during this event, or even for the live streamers, so you can all experience so much more in this world, so much more in your business, and really create the business that you want on your terms. I'm personally not interested in creating a business that's not on my terms. So, guys have any questions? Yes.
I'm sorry, I walked in super late, so parking, so I apologize.
Okay.
What are some of the best affiliate partnerships that you have? You don't have to name people, but
So if they pay me, it's a good affiliate partner. So, and usually with all of them, I will see who else is partnering with them first, and if I respect them, then I will say, okay, let's go ahead and work with you as an affiliate, and then we'll give it a try and see how the list responds. By list, I mean the regular email list, the social media, everything. Yeah, yes?
how did you decide on a fee structure for your services?
How did I decide on a fee structure for my services? A lot of that is me tapping into the client and seeing, what really felt light as far as them really having a deeper conversation before I would ever give them a price. And then after I had done that for several years, then I knew what I needed to charge. Yeah. So, just, look at your clients, look at your avatar client, and ask, what are they willing to pay for the change that I provide? What kind of company do you run?
I'm a beauty consultant.
Okay. Yeah. So.
Believe it or not.
Oh, see, and so in that case, the next clients that you're with, what's the value of them, having the change that you provide, having better clothes, having a better image, being able to stand out. I mean, if you work with entrepreneurs, that's invaluable to us, where we can stand out and be bold and really make a change. Yes?
So where does resource limitations, what do you think about resource limitations as far as times or?
Yeah, well, we have what we call a decision matrix that we use. You really have to look at a few different elements with it. You have to look at money, you have to look at time, you have to look at effort, and then in my company, we also look at, how will this change things in 1 year, 2 years, and 3 years? And so we kind of, look at every new project, and then we allocate resources from that. Did that answer your question? Yeah. Fantastic, yes.
It seems sort of like, it's kind of
Oh, yeah, well, thank you for asking. That was really me. You mean after I crashed like that? I mean, because I was not happy. There's somebody here from my staff. She's back there taking pictures. I was not a happy person. And she was a part of my organization when that all went down. And I went public and I said, I'm quitting. And when I said that, then really I started to look at my life. And like I said, you saw it, I was writing books, I was journaling. I was not spending that money for a personal trainer or a chef. It might have appeared that way. I was really trying to really get what does it take to be this flow and create from this way where I'm not constantly annoyed with myself or hating things. I mean, for the lack of a better word, I wanted just the joy, and I knew I could have the joy.